Hi everybody. Today I thought we would take a look at something that can help us when we're working with numbers. At school we use something called a 10 frame a lot, and a 10 frame can be as simple as, here I'll draw one, as simple as a long rectangle that is separated down the middle and then split into 10 parts. So you would need 1, 2, 3, 4 lines in the middle, and if we count them, we can count by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can count by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We could even count by fives. 5, 10. So this is called a 10 frame, and a 10 frame, for your parents that haven't used these at school with us, a 10 frame is something that we use a lot to help us recognize numbers quickly and to help us understand the combinations that we can use to make 10. So I'm just going to click off of my face here and talk about how we can make 10. So when we're using a 10 frame, what we do with the kids at school is I will often just find some things that I have around and make a number. And what we practice doing is we practice trying to figure out what the number is really quickly. So without having to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we should know that this is 6. We should know it because we know that half of the 10 frame is 5 and one more is 6. And the other great thing about this is when we make a number like this, we can see how many more it would take to make 10. So I could say, okay, what's this number? And the kids would say 6. And I'd say, how many more would we need to make 10? And they can see right away that we need 4. And so right away, we know that 6 and 4 make a 10. So we could talk like that. I could make another number. I could make this one. And we always try to start like we read, the same direction that we read. So we go from left to right and we fill up one whole side before we fill up the other. We don't go like this when we use a 10 frame because it's harder to recognize the 5 that way. So we always fill up one side first and then the next. And so we should be able to say, what's this number? And the kids should know that that's 9. And I could say, how many more do we need to make 10? And they would say 1. So we could make a number sentence saying 9 plus 1 more equals 10. We could also use it the opposite way. We could say 10, we could look at it at 10, and we could take 1 away, and that leaves us with how many? 9. So there's a lot of work that we do with 10 frames and 10s, and I'm just going to show you a couple other ways that we use them in school. These are going to be the ways that the kids are more familiar with. So maybe I'll flip this over so that you don't see my writing anymore. Kind of. Okay, so this is one 10 frame that we use. This is something that was left over from something that I bought at the dollar store. It was the box that the bits came in. So it came with all these little wooden shapes. The wooden shapes are what you buy, but I wanted it because the box that it came in was a perfect 10 frame, and we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or we can count by twos. This is good practice for the kids. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And again, we can use things around the house to build our 10 frame. This is going to be harder for me to get them out, but it doesn't matter. So here's my number. Kids, what's my number? We should be able to say right away 4. And how many more would I need to make 10? And we know that it's 5. We don't have to count them because we know 5 and 1 more, and 1 more is 6. So we also practice recognizing the number without counting it, which is a really good math skill. Excuse me. So this is the one we use in school the most. Now, if you've been doing as much baking as I have, I'm sure you have 1 or 2 of these laying around your house. This is an egg carton that I have filled with great big pom-poms. Now, an egg carton usually has how many? 12. But we want 10. So what I did was I just, oh, you can't really see it, I just cut off 2 off the end, and here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this must be 5, and we know that 5 and 5 is 10, or we can count by 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And I'll do things like this with the kids, where I will quickly build a number, and I won't show them. I'll keep it to myself, and then I'll go like this, and I'll say, what number? And we try to do it really fast, and we say, we know this is 5, and we can count up, 6, 7, 7. And I'll say, how many more do we need to make 10? 3. Okay, here comes another number. And it's a game we play where we try to recognize our numbers really quickly. And I'll say, what's my number? And the kids should know right away that it's 9 because we're just missing 1. But if they don't, we know that this is 5. We don't have to count them because in a 10 frame, this is always 5. And if it's full, it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are good things that you can do at home. I'm going to post this video and followed, so I'm going to click on myself again so I can talk to you. I'm going to post this video so that you can see sort of how we work with 10 at school. And then the next video that I post is one that Ms Branion made, and it's a game that you can play making combinations of 10 using playing cards. So if you want to try that game and you have a 10 frame beside you, it can help you as you try to make your combinations of 10. So I just wanted to share that with you. This is something you can do at home to practice your numbers and to practice your combinations of 10 because that helps us with our math. It helps us exploring numbers, and it helps us when we get into bigger numbers because if I had 2 of these like I do at school, I could pretend here, if I have 2, what number am I working with? 10, 20. So you could work with bigger numbers if you need a challenge. You can also do that, I'll just move those out of the way, you can also do that on your paper. You could draw a second 10 frame and then you're working with 10 and 20 and bigger numbers. But I would start with 10 and then see how you do. If it's something that you're finding that you really understand and that you're doing quite easily without too much help, then expand it and add another 10 frame. Happy number work. I'll see you soon, and don't forget to check out Ms Branion's video next and play a game with 10. See you later.